Chapter 4, dealing with demons. How do we deal with those demons, Dr. Gordon?
Well, first of all, demon, the word demon comes from the Greek word daimon, D-A-I-M-O-N, which was not just something negative, but it was also the kind of genius that was there inside us that we could consult, that could help us be and become who we're meant to be. Over time, it got narrowed down to demon, to something threatening and unpleasant and dark and horrible. What I would say is we need to recover some of that ancient meaning, and we need to understand that these dark and painful and horrible to us aspects of our lives also have something to teach us. So we need to work with them rather than just to try to flee them, to get away from them, or to drug them into submission. So if we are angry, for example, why did this happen to me? How could this have happened to me? I've been such a good boy or such a good girl, or how could this terrible thing have happened? What I might say is, you've got to work with that demon. You've got to work with that anger. Don't pretend it's not there. Don't just wallow in it. Don't drug yourself up so you don't feel it. Hit a punching bag. Scream and shout. Get out the anger. Start becoming aware. Fully experience all that frustration. And what will happen often as you begin to work with this particular demon of rage and outrage, really, is that something else will open up. Sadness will come, the deeper sadness that the anger may have been protecting us against. And then we'll soften up and change will be possible again. Or the demon may be procrastination. That's one of mine. I don't know if you've experienced that in writing, but I do at times. I've got to put it off. I can't do it. Okay, so this is a demon that I've had around me on and off over the years. What do I do about it? Do I just beat myself up for once again putting off doing something? Do I keep trying to do something that I just can't do? Or maybe I shift gears. Maybe I start doing something else. So I take the injunction to do something productive and I generalize it. And so I stop doing the writing on the book, and maybe I write emails to people. And if I can't do that, then maybe I straighten out my desk or do something else. So, again, I'm recognizing this particular demon. I'm not pretending that it's not there. I'm not going to war with it, but I'm trying to figure out a way to learn from it and to move through it. And I don't know how many times I've found that if I back away for a moment from procrastination, and I either start working on some other kind of writing, or I do something, practical, or even I move my body and I, just take a walk, I then come back refreshed. So we need to become aware of the demons, and we need to find a strategy. And it's going to be different for each one. And in Unstuck, I outline ways of working with 10 or a dozen different kinds of demons. Each of us has different demons. And so there are different strategies. And you can ask your wise guide also what you should do. If your demon's anger, and you're angry all the time, okay, what do I do about this anger? See what your intuition has to say.
Could you share what those demons are? You mentioned in the book that you outline a few demons and some strategies. So anger is one. What are some of the other demons?
Well, resentment, which is a much nastier form of anger, sitting around stewing about, how could she have done this to me, or how could he be like this? Another one is envy. He's so much better at doing his job. I wish I could be like him. Another one is jealousy. Oh, my husband, he keeps looking at that other woman. All the spiritual traditions, including the New Testament, are very clear about that sloth.
Yes.
Lethargy. I can't do anything at all. Just lust. Well, it's good to be lustful in a way, But if you're going around, constantly preoccupied with, who am I going to sleep with next, and just driving yourself and everybody else crazy, that's a demon. That becomes a demon for you. So
So
everything,
true.
and it may be impatience. That's another one I know about,
Oh yeah.
which is
Yeah.
slightly different.
Just
But
familiar with that.
so all of them, we've all got, just about all of us have one or another. Even
Absolutely.
even the saints had their demons, and they had to. A lot of the pictures of the saints in the desert, they're there, by themselves. They're wrestling with their demons.
But let's talk about a specific demon, just because I know so many people who are dealing with this, which is that of the emotion that emerges when you lose something really important, whether that's loss of a child. We've had some friends that have lost a child to cancer, another, lost to a car accident. So losing something that you love tremendously, losing a spouse, losing a parent, that's something that every single one of us is going to experience at some point, losing someone you love. And of course, that creates a demon within. Could you just share one or two quick tips on how can someone deal with that? Because
Well,
that can take over your life.
see, I'm not sure that that's a demon so much. I think the demon would be if you continue to be disabled by that loss.
Mm-hmm.
So the demon might be inertia, or I can't move, or the demon might be the anger that we discussed before.
Absolutely.
I'm so angry. How could this
Yes.
happen?
Yes.
I think grief has to be honored.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to. I mean, traditional societies, and even our modern religions understand that it's going to take, for severe loss, it's going to take a year. So first thing is, be patient with yourself.
Thank you for
And
saying that. I feel like we live in a society that doesn't give us permission to feel sad without labeling it and then trying to put pills in our mouth. Thank you for saying that it can take a year and it's okay, right? To
it's
take a year
yes.
to process those emotions.
And so it's really important to understand that and to accept it. And one of the things where people get in trouble, that I've seen, is that they're told, well, get your act together, move
Yes.
on, suck it up.
Yes.
And it's just not helpful. We do need to function to some degree, but it may take us time,
Mm-hmm.
and we may not be functioning optimally. The other thing is, we need people to talk to about what's going on. This is where the whole idea of a guide becomes even more important. That, as we've seen in working with psychological trauma here in the US and around the world, and as other people who've looked at and worked with trauma have seen, the single most important factor in healing is the support and connection to other people. So reach out to other people. One of the problems with great loss is we feel like we're the only one who's experiencing it now, and maybe the only one who's ever experienced it. And this is partly physiological, because certain parts of our brain get disabled by trauma, or at least become somewhat dysfunctional. So understand and connect with other people who can share with you, who can be there for you as you're going through what you're going through, and who also, understand that they too either have been or will be traumatized. So those are really probably the two most important places to start. And then it's a whole process where you can begin to use all the other tools that we're talking about in Unstuck to help you keep moving through this period.
Wonderful.